Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour to give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So we'll meet the cappers and get right to the picks because we don't mess around here on the Drive-Thru. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, what's going on? You're on mute there.
You got to unmute yourself. I like him better muted, though.
Oh, no.
I'm starting off great. Brian, get new material. That's over and over you say that. But I'm having a good weekend, Tony. Got to lay under a car in pouring rain. Having 3 daughters, you always get that call starting around 6 in the morning. Dad, the temp lights on and there's steam coming out. What do I do?
Oh, no.
Get married. That's what I say. Get married. But yeah, it ain't happening. So.
I said, when you
That's
time,
me.
Yep. This is next time if you have children, you have daughters, just make sure they take auto mechanics.
I wish they all would have took that in home ec or shop class and plumbing. So I need a plumber.
There you go. That might got to plan it early in there to get him there. Let's say to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
Yeah, that might be an old line, Kevin, but when Tony cuts to me, you never see me on mute and talking. So anyway, I had a losing day yesterday, got my butt kicked. Before that, I had winning day on Tuesday, Wednesday. So I thought I was really turning the corner. But I look at this Friday card, and it's just my type of card. Hopefully I'm not getting baited into a square dancing Friday, but it looks pretty good to me.
There you go from Brian. Let's go to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
Well, not too much. Hey, hit my NHL player of the day, but overall was 2 and 4. A little bit of a losing day for me. Can't complain about the month I've had, so a little bit of a losing day heading into the weekend. Bounce back here. Let's continue to trust May like we've entered May. So looking to stay hot. One losing day. Hey, you have those losing days, and it was just paid a little bit of juice. Put it behind us. Move on to Friday's slate. I love today's card. Looks like some nice money makers to be had. Let's get to it.
Looks that way. Let's see if Wayne there. Wayne is in a frozen state right now, so it's not frozen. We saw the sun out. It was hailing yesterday, and his tree fell out. There he goes. He just had to.
All right, yeah, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, kind of like some of the guys been saying, rough day for me yesterday, rough week in general for me, probably my worst week of the year. Definitely, just like Brian said, feeling very confident about this card, though, despite this week. So looking to just remain steady, don't change much up, and continue smacking the books in the spots that I love.
There we go. Fair from Wayne. All right, we'll wait on Javon. Javon should be in shortly, so let's get to the picks here, guys. We'll look at the NBA for tonight to start off the show. Of course, we know there's 2 games, a lot of injury information we'll get to right here, so let's get to the games tonight. Cavs and the Pacers. We see the Cavs now up to 5, total of 233. And then tonight, Nuggets and Thunder. Thought this would hit 6. It hit 6. Thunder here laying 6. Total sits here 232. Let's see what the 6 looks like right now in the books. We are seeing some 5s and we are seeing some 5.5s out there too. 6, although 6 juiced at 15. The sharp books have 5.5 on OKC. Interesting note there on that one. Let's take a look at the injuries here. Well, Garland has been upgraded to probable for Cleveland. Hunter is still questionable. Mobley was at the shoot around, questionable with that ankle injury. He was there. Let's see what they say here. Garland's dealing with a toe, Hunter with a thumb. All 3 of them were at shoot around. All 3 of them were practiced and got shots up there. So we'll wait and see how it works here. Game time decision. But the good news for the Cleveland is that all 3 were at shoot arounds. Clean injury report, OKC and Denver. Clean on the Indiana side. So let's get the block underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, I got a premium in that Indiana Cavs game. We smacked our prop yesterday that I gave out. So today we're gonna go back right back to it. It was Draymond Green over 4.5 assists. He actually cleared that pretty easily. Today we're going with Russell Westbrook over. It was 13. Now it's 13.5. Pretty heavy juice, about 130. You can probably the lowest you can get it at. But if you know Russell Westbrook, he's still a high quality guard in my opinion. I know he gets a lot of slouch but he's a number one option coming off of Denver. He happens to be playing OKC, a team that let him go that he used to play for. We all know Russell Westbrook. He's a guy with a big ego, and he likes nothing else but to go out and show out in games like this. Besides the fact, though, he's been going over his point total 9 out of his last 10 games. So Russell Westbrook has had a tremendous role coming out that bench. I think nothing changes here. 13 and a half seems very slim for Russell Westbrook. I think he can get 15 plus pretty easy. So I'm going with Russell Westbrook over his points.
Yeah, from Wayne. Next up, we move right on over to Ron.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at one spot here. I'm going to take the over in the first half between the Denver Nuggets and the OKC Thunder here. You look at this Denver squad in that first half. Following a game, they lose by 10 or more points this year. They're 15-3 to that over in the first half. And as we've seen in that last game, OKC has come out and said, hey, you want to play the track meet style game? Well, we can play that track meet style type of game. And we seen in that first half they planted 80 points plus on Denver. I don't know if they can score 80, but we don't need them to score 80. I just need them to get over this 117 in that first half, and I think both teams can easily hit 60 points in that first half. That gives us $120. Give me the over 117 first half. Denver, OKC.
Here we go from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Yeah, Tony, I'm looking at that Denver game as well. I'm liking the Nuggets getting the 5.5 points at home. I think we all knew what we were. Oh yeah, that's even better. I think we all knew what we were going to get with that game too. After that shocking loss by the Thunder at home after the regular season they had, but this Denver Nuggets team, I mean, they are a championship caliber team. The bench might be the only weakness. Porter with the shoulder injury hasn't been as efficient as he has been in the past. Braun coming in playing some quality minutes, but I just think at home, I think Denver can cover the spread. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I just think that you got the best player. You got the two MVP guys playing for MVP, and I think Jokic is by far the best player on the court.
Here we go from Kevin. Next up, we move right on over to Javon. Both NBA.
Both NBAs. Look at this Cavs Pacers game first. I would like to take the under. It really depends on how the game's called, but I can't consciously take the under with the way Indiana scores the basketball and they're at home. You saw last game they scored 15 points in the first quarter. For the rest of the game, what did they score? Like a $105, $150, something like that. For the other 3 quarters. This team is hard to defend, hard to stop. Just giving my thoughts on that one. I really don't have a play on it. As much as I would like to take the under, because at some point, these games can't just go fly over the total. But given the fact that the Cavs, with their injury problems, whether they're on the court or off the court, they're gonna be hindered. The guys that are gonna be on the court, especially the defensive player of the year. It's just my mind says take the under, heart says take the over. So it's just one of those things. I don't want to get burned, where you see a game going one way and then all of a sudden the fourth quarter happens and all hell breaks loose. Ticky-tack fouls that weren't called in in the first 3 quarters, so on and so forth. As for the other game, same deal. The trends say take the under, but given the way that Denver defends, which is really kind of non-existent, and the way that they're pushing the rock up the court offensively, you can't take an under with these guys. Maybe they'll let them play as if it's a Celtics Knicks series, and don't call anything. But when when a game's called a certain way, you really have no choice but back the over in this one. And I'm on the other side. I'm on the Thunder. It's just one of those things where, I know what the trends say. I know the spot. but you're going against a dynamic defensive team as well as an offensive team, and I think that's a separation point for me. It might be close down the stretch, and I think SGA outduels the Joker down the stretch, and I think they get the cover in this one. That's how I think it's going to play out. I think it might be a close one, but I think in the end, given the defensive prowess of OKC, I think they get home court, and I think they get it by margin.
There we go from
Tony.
Javon. Yes.
Tony, could I ask Javon a quick question real fast, if you don't mind?
All right.
Javon, I know you're a first quarter guy. What you think about that Cavs first quarter, man? I'm liking it, but I ain't pulled the trigger yet.
I mean, it's tough because of the venue. It's in Indy. I would say Cavs need it, but Indy is shown at home then they're not to be played with. Not so much in the regular season because they've been a better road team overall in the regular season, but in the postseason, they showed nothing but giving teams the business. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. I'm assuming that all three guys are back. I'm not sure. What's the word on that, Tony?
Well, Garland's probable, and Mobley and the rest of the Hunter and Mobley both questionable, but all three participated in the shoot around today.
Yeah, I could only assume. This is the playoffs. As far as I'm concerned, they should have played last game. But this is today's NBA. It's not the NBA of yesteryear, where guys are going to go out there regardless of what. They could they could have a limb falling off and they would have been out there. But I expect them to be out there for Game 3, and that's one of the reasons why I want to take the under, because I think it's going to be more defensive lean and more stops, given the fact that Mobley's out there. Garland's kind of a liability on offense, but when you have the defensive player of the year, he's gonna disrupt things wherever he's at on the court. So, but as far as the first quarter goes, I would like to say Cavs, but I could easily see Indy, getting out to a nice size lead, or it just being a zero sum game at the end of one. I really have no lean on it.
There from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, as much as I hate to agree with Kevin Thomas here, I'm going to have to take the Denver Nuggets plus the points. I mean, bettors, I think, in general are fickle. Coming into this series, people saw how the Denver Nuggets played against the Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, playing really well to close out the Clippers. And they jumped on those points. But seeing that 149 to 106 beatdown that the Thunder put on the Denver Nuggets, Kevin Thomas is trying to throw me off my game. They saw that 149 to 106 beatdown there, and I think people have jumped ship here, and they're back in the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were the best cover team in the NBA. But at home, I think Denver's a tough place to play. I think there's only one way to go in this one. That's Denver Nuggets plus the points here tonight.
Nuggets plus the points there with Brian. Or I'll tell you what I think about these. I'll tell you what I think about these games here. I'm going to look at Indiana. I've had a rule this year when the Pacers getting points and all their shooters are healthy, I take them. I'm kicking myself because I didn't do that in Game 1. But again, the Pacers in this playoffs shooting the ball better than anybody else. 51% shooting, 41% from three. No one else is shooting better than the Pacers in the playoffs. You've got a world champion head coach there, and I know it's one of those must-win games for the Cavs. But when you're up 2-0, I think there's just as much motivation to go up 3-0 as it is to avoid 3-0 in my book, because you can close out the series if you get this win. The Pacers at home have been pretty good overall, and again, we've seen the shots here go down for the Pacers. I'll look at them in that spot. I kind of agree with Brian there, taking the Denver and Kevin Denver in the spot. Denver at home in the playoffs have shot 50%, 42% from three. That was against the Clippers, who are perceived to be a very good defensive team. So with that, I'm taking the home dogs here in this one. Probably do that again tomorrow. To be honest with you there. I don't think there's a home. Yeah, they are home dogs. Again, there are two home dogs again tomorrow. But anyway, we got you there with those games. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we turn our attention to Major League Baseball now. 15-game card At last check, I don't believe there were any pitching changes. I think we're still set to go with the guys that we saw today. Corbin Turek Schoolball. Let me see if there's any changes. I didn't get any announcements from my line service. At least we'll know at least through the first 5 there is no changes. So let's get to the blocks here from Major League Baseball here. And the games we'll be covering in this block will be Rangers and Tigers are warming up. The weather looks good in Detroit. Detroit here, 280 total hits here at 7. Also in this block we will have Braves and Pirates. Braves will have a new manager. They fired the manager yesterday. Braves $1.46 total 8.5. Cardinals and Nationals. Cardinals $1.09 total sits at 9. Brewers and Rays. The Brewers $1.18 a total of 9. And we close this block with Phillies and Guardians. Phillies $1.10 total 7.5. We get this block underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, and the first one, the line kind of tells you everything you need to know in this game. Nationals versus St. Louis. St. Louis coming off a small winning streak, while Nationals on a small losing streak. But yet, Nationals, like you said, was $1.05, $1.01. Maybe you can get it best at. I'm taking the Nationals here in this spot. Mitchell Parker should be a little bit more serviceable. He's been up and down. He's had a couple good games, couple bad games, but I like him in this spot considering St. Louis doesn't hit lefties well. Nationals bat a lot stronger at home. Only thing that really steers me off Nationals is their bullpen, but I think they can do enough to get the win in this spot. And that Cleveland and Phillies game, I like the over 8. With Nolan on the mound, I definitely feel like he can give up a few. Cleveland's bullpen is not as strong as last year, but they're starting to see signs of them getting better, but they're still kind of iffy. And Philly's bullpen has been terrible. But on the flip side, Philly's been batting very strong over their last 10-5. So I like the over 8. I think it'll be a push at minimum.
There we go from Wayne. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, I think you can get 7.5 there in that game now. I think it's dropped from the 8 to the 7.5, but I agree with you, Wayne. Take the over there in that one, the Guardians and the Philadelphia Phillies in that one. I don't trust Nola on the road. You've seen Nola. Hey, we've seen him over his last couple starts. He's looked real well, right? He's pitched good. He's held some teams down, but when he does that, following that third start, I believe it's 25-7 to the over is Nola. So it hasn't been good for him following those 2 good starts. So I agree. Take the over there in that matchup. And man, I just Detroit, that first game back at home. Now they're minus 300 favorites there in that matchup, and it's like, man, it's Corbin on the mound. And I know everybody loves to fade Corbin, but I'm going to take Corbin there in that spot with Texas. I'm going to try to hit. Look at that big plus price. There's just too much value there. Detroit off that long road trip. I tried to fade him in Colorado. That didn't work so well, so let's fade him here. Their first game back at home off of that long road trip. Another spot I like to fade teams. Give me the Texas Rangers there at the plus price with Corbin on the mound in that one over the Tigers.
Familiar tune, plus price with Corbin on the mound. That's a very familiar tune there. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin. You're on mute there, Kevin.
Jesus Christ. This guy.
Shot caller.
I agree with Wayne. You want to hear the dogs because they're all right here. I agree with Wayne on the Washington pick. I like Mitchell Parker on the mound here. He's not getting enough recognition being on the Nationals, but the kid can throw. And I like the fact that St. Louis just finished the divisional series with Pittsburgh, so they went to their main bullpen. They wanted to take that series, and they did. And Klaus and those guys all pitched, so this is a nice spot for maybe them to get some rest against Washington. So I'm going to take Washington. The line's a little fishy where I'm looking at it now just because St. Louis isn't great on the road. But we're going to go ahead and take Washington on the money line. And if I can get a prop, I will find one for you. So I'm going to take Woods to get us an RBI tonight. James Woods. Check him out.
James Woods. All right, there we go. James Woods, the actor, also plays poker at Bike out here as well. All right, next up, we move right on over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the Cardinals Nationals over. Just the form of these 2 starters. I think both of these starters could give it up in this one. St. Louis not bad against lefties, overall. Not the worst, batting against lefties. that we have in this league. So I can only go over in this game. Don't really have a feel for the side in this one. Just don't like the way either of these starter pitchers have come in the form of giving up hits, and where there's hits, there's eventually gonna be runs driven in. And given the bullpens, yeah, I can only see this going over. I am also on the Cleveland Guardians. It's Aaron Nola on the mound. I love fading Aaron Nola. It's just one of the things I like doing. This year you've been mostly fruitful in that process with fading him. Not last game, I believe, but prior to that, it's been a fruitful proposition. So I'll be on Cleveland, even with Gavin Williams on the mound, because he's no great shakes neither. So it'll be that home slight dog. And I'll back the Rangers on the run line. It's at plus money on the run line, so that's where I'm going with it. Hopefully, it'll be a one-run game, and we get cash there.
There we go. Here from Javon. Next up, we move on over to Brian.
Yeah, I agree with Javon here. I like the Guardians on the money line over the Phillies. Aaron Nola has looked like a stud on his last two starts, but I don't trust him as much on the road. But my favorite play in this time frame is probably the Tampa Bay Rays. I think they've lost 7 of their last 9 games. Their starting pitcher tonight, if it wasn't for that game where he got roughed up, giving up 7 runs, he's had 4 consecutive quality starts. And I think Carlos Quintana, definitely hittable here for the Milwaukee Brewers. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays at home, slight plus money.
Yeah, from Brian. I'll tell you what I think here about these games. Yeah, I agree here with that Rangers game. I definitely see a one-run game here in Texas and Detroit. This is a doubleheader. Detroit comes off the doubleheader sweep in the end of their 10-game road trip. Now it's a quick return here. Rangers have it better against left-handed starters, and against these good teams, the Rangers 4-0 the run line against a team with a 620 or higher win percentage. So I'll look at them in that spot. I like the over in Cardinals and Nationals. Eric Fedde on the hill for St. Louis, and St. Louis has been hitting lefties pretty well. The Nats hit well at home at 271, but the problems here with both bullpens. Cardinals bullpen on the road, an ERA of 6.5. The Nats over their past. Oh, did you see that Cleveland series? Cleveland's not. Their hitters aren't any great shakes, right? That bullpen for the Nats, horrible. Nats at home. 11-6-1 to the over, so I like the over in that game. I like the Brewers tomorrow. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do like the Brewers and Rays under the total, under 9 here. Milwaukee here, really a hitting slump coming into this one. Past 7 hit $176, and Tampa Bay hitting 171 against 11 lefties they have faced this year. Quintana's been sharp on the road, like the under in that one. There. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we continue here with Major League Baseball for tonight. We'll get ready here for the next series of games, and they will be Cubs and Mets. The Mets $1.32 now. Total sits at 8. This one's come down a little bit. Marlins and White Sox. Marlins $1.39, total of 8. Red Sox and Royals. Red Sox $1.07 on the road, total 9. Giants and Twins. Giants $1.13, total 9. In case you get the news that Paddock will start for Minnesota. Ryan was penciled in. Joe Ryan was penciled in yesterday afternoon. That change was made about the afternoon yesterday to Paddock. Ryan will go tomorrow for the Twins. He did throw some bullpen sessions, but they want to wait till tomorrow for Ryan. So Paddock in tonight for Minnesota. Reds and Astros. Astros now up to $1.85, total 7.5. We get the block underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, I'm on Astros. It's just a straight fade of the Reds. No real handicapping besides I've bet the Reds probably 3 times in the last week, and I've seen enough of them. Now I'm trying to get my money back on the other side of that. Houston just in better form. Simple as that. Numbers not terrible. I'm on the run line trying to get plus money, as the money line's been bet up pretty significant, but I understand why. We're going to continue to fade the Reds here until they get it together. Not like they're batting terrible. They just leaving a lot of men on base, and the goal is to get runs in and not leave them on base. So I'm going to continue to take Houston in this spot.
Yeah, from Wayne. All right, next up we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, that's why I'm going to take the Reds here in this spot. I know the Reds haven't looked the greatest over their last few, but what do they love to do? Beat up the Astros. They've won 9 straight games against the Astros. Have these Reds, and at this big plus price, I'm in. I'll take the shot here with the Reds. Also, I don't like Hunter Brown here in this spot. Hunter Brown is a favorite between minus 175 and minus 250 as a home favorite. 2-9 is Hunter Brown in this spot as a big giant home favorite. So I'm going to take a shot to the big plus price with the Reds there in that matchup. And then give me the Cubs here over the Mets. Cubs lost their last time out, and following a loss, heading in towards those Mets. Hey, guess what? The Cubs are 7-0 straight up facing the Mets following a loss. So I'll take a shot here at the plus price with the Cubs, even with Ty Owen on the mound. You know me, I'm not a Ty Owen guy, but I'm going to back him there tonight with the Cubs going.
Yeah,
I think the bats come to life.
Yeah, Tyone has good numbers against the Mets, believe it or not. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
I agree. I like the Cubs here getting plus money. I think they probably have the best four batters in the first four batters. I think right now they're one of the top teams with the first four. Can't pitch around them. Mets off a road trip, and they ended in Arizona. I know they got the day break, but still, that's still a tough thing to do to come back. So give me the Cubs at plus 120 or whatever it is now, and I'll take the Giants as well over Minnesota, not because of the pitching change, but because they ruled Lewis out for this game. And since he's come back, I know he's hitless, but man, he's making the other guys around him better. They're all seeing pitches now. They're going to let him rest tonight, so give me the Giants here.
Here from Kevin. All right, next up, we shall move right on over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side. I'm on the Twins, and that's just on the strength of them, being having a winning streak, and sometimes you just got to ride the winning streak, and that's all that there is to it. So no real complicated thing to that. I'm just riding the wave of the Twins in this one. And I'll lean Red Sox, to keep it going. Had a pretty nice series, against the Rangers. Won 2 out of 3, on a 2-game winning streak. Get out of town, play Royals team who they've won 7 out of the last 10 games against. I think they get the Michael Lorenzen and company in this one, and continue that winning streak, make it 3 in a row.
Yeah, from Javon. Next up, we shall move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, I don't know about Kevin Thomas here, but definitely Minnesota is the play. I don't know what he's looking at. Jordan Hicks has been absolutely brutal with like a 7.88 ERA. This guy's getting lit up like a Roman candle. You got Chris Paddock on the mound. Well, he hasn't gone more than 5 innings in a start, but he's been consistently good. This Twins team is the team that's cost me the most money this year, but we've seen the real Minnesota Twins lately winning 5 straight. And you got to question this price, just about a minus 115 to take a San Francisco Giants team that has about, 6 or 8 more wins. Definitely looks like a sucker play taking the Giants. You got to be in on the Minnesota Twins. Love that play.
Yeah, from Brian, I'll tell you what I think of here about these games here. I like KC at home here, 9-1 in their home night games this season. They've been red hot here over the past 7, hitting 285, 13 homers. Their bullpen has been very sharp here of late. I'll take the plus there with KC. I'm going to go against Brian here. I like the Giants in this one. San Francisco, past 7 games, hitting 278. The Twins against the National League, hitting 202 in year 5. San Francisco on the road, really good bullpen. Here's the one reason I like them here. San Francisco against right-handed starters this year, 22-5, returning 18 units. Give me the Giants in that one. Reds and Astros. I like the Reds, as agree with Rod there, with the big plus price. The Reds hit 305 against the American League. Matter of fact, if you hit the Astros at home the past 2+ seasons, they're 97-90, but they cost you 38 units. They've been just a money burner at home this year. Give me that big plus money with the Reds there. As a matter of fact, the Reds look at the Reds on the road against the American League over the past 2+ seasons. 32-17 on the road, facing an AL team with a 330 or lower on-base percentage, returning 24 units. Against these low-power teams, they get the job done and return a lot of money for you. So I'll look at them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. We get ready for the games here. Some of the late West Coast games. Note here on the weather, guys, we got some very hot weather out in the West We're looking at 99 degrees in Arizona. The roof open in Arizona. We're looking at about 90 degrees in Sacramento in their shelter as they host the Yankees. Hot weather in LA for the Angels, about almost 90 degrees. We're looking at milder weather in Seattle, but the West Coast games there with no roofs, really hot weather to note. All right, so let's get it underway here. We've got Padres, Rockies here. And this is about 71 degrees, so it's warming up in Colorado now. Padres $1.70, total sits 11.5. We got Orioles, Angels. Orioles here $1.33, total 9.5. Look at that total there. Blue Jays and Mariners. Mariners $1.41, total 7. It's always mild up there in the Pacific Northwest. Let's go back here a little bit. Here we go. This one 99 degrees at start time. Should be about 90 degrees with last pitch. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. D-backs $1.13. Look at the total of 10. And of course, another hot game here. This one should be 90 degrees at start time. Yankees and Athletics. Yankees $1.43. Total sits here at 11. So there you go with these West Coast totals being high with this heat wave coming in. We get this one underway here with Wayne.
We skip Chicago, Miami.
That was in a previous block. We're in the West Coast now.
Okay. Nothing in this late slot, Tony.
Well, you can throw that Miami game since you teased everybody.
All right, yeah, I like the White Sox. I like the White Sox. Unfortunately, coming home after getting smacked up by the Royals, I believe they just came off a game where they scored 0 runs. I think they have a competitive run. I just don't trust Miami on the road right now, even against a team like the White. I think they can finally get on board and grab a W at a decent, solid price. So I'm gonna ride the White Sox in this spot.
They're from Wayne. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at this spot is take those Padres and lay the 2.5. Take the extendo on that one. This Colorado Rockies team is awful, and it's not going to get any better as the season rolls along. So put on the Captain Obvious hat and take the Padres lane minus 2.5. Take the extendo on that one.
Rod.
That's the only way to go. Trust me, Brian.
I'm gonna
friends
die.
don't let friends bet the Rockies. I'm telling you, do not try to catch a polymath with the Rockies. They will kick your butt all over the place, up and down, all over. They'll smack you around. They won't even give you a square dance. You won't even get one of those. So don't even do it. I'm telling you, stay away from the Rockies. Friends don't let friends bet Rockies this year. Not at all.
Tough start of the season for the Rockies. Remember, they had a rocky road last year, but they made it up after the All-Star break. We'll see if it happens this year. Next up, we move right on over to Kevin.
Yeah, we're looking at that Dodgers game, right? Everyone's going to be betting the Dodgers at plus money. Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm on mute. Jeez. They took care of game 1 against Yamamoto, and then we got Suzuki on the mound tonight for the Dodgers, and he's pretty inconsistent. He's not getting more than five innings. I'm gonna have to ride Arizona here. I'm gonna lay the minus 120 or whatever it's at right now, and give me Arizona.
Arizona for Kevin. Next up, we move right on over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the Yankees Athletics over. I think there's going to be a lot of balls going deep the other way, and hopefully, it'll be littered with men on base when that happens. So we could get over this total. It's a steep total, but nevertheless, I could only play that, with the heat on the ball travels further. And with the Yankees in town, they, you know what they are. They're swing for the fences type of team anyway. So, that's the only way I could look at it with that one. I'm also in Toronto. Seattle coming off an extended road trip, 6-game road trip. Now they're playing their first game home. I don't like that prospect, especially against Kevin Gausman, who, off of that brutal start that he had the game before, he bounced back with a pretty strong performance. So I believe that he'll continue that success in this one. So, and a Blue Jays team who, after imploding in the 9th inning a couple nights ago, backed it up with a win last night. So I expect for them to win another one in this one. And I can only go one way with it. What did Ross say? extendo clip with the Padres. Can't do anything else with it. Sorry to say, I hit a 6-teamer, and you know what was on it? Detroit.
There you go.
With the doubleheader. Listen, don't even think about it.
Even with Keter Montero. Even with Keter Montero starting game 2.
I'm not catching that falling knife. I'm not catching that falling knife with Colorado. Maybe in years past, but not this year. 6-31. Those 4 wins though have come at home. I'll give them that. 4-14 at home, but it won't be tonight. Not with old Sensatella the magician on the mound.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it could only be the Padres in a big way. -2.5, -3. Hell, go -3.5, 4 the way they're giving it up.
Yeah,
get some good plus money out the deal.
Yeah.
If they lose, they lose. But given the fact that Colorado's getting lambasted out there, it's only one way to go with it.
Yeah. You think they'll get? You think the Padres will get a 20 spot in one of the games of the series?
I'm not too sure about that, but I'm not too sure on that. But hey, in the 3 games,
get 10 in 1 inning.
In the 3 games, they could get to 30. In this 3-game series, they could get to 30. They can average 10. Let's just say that.
Let's say that. All right. There we go.
Batting practice out there, of course.
And it's warming up, too. So there we go. Next up, we move right on over to, we've been patiently waiting because that hat's getting sweaty around his forehead. That's Brian.
Yeah, well, I've been pretty much in agreement with Javon tonight. Maybe not as much with the Colorado Rockies game, but we see eye to eye on the Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners.
Oh.
I like Kevin Gausman. He had 2 rough starts this year, but he's been pretty much consistent. He got Seattle riding high. They're beating their chest. They're happy. I got 8-2 last time, but now they're back at home. I think Toronto sneaks in a win tonight. I like that plus 120 here with the Toronto Blue Jays.
There you go. If I was Seattle, I would have allowed the Athletics to come to my park, and I would have went to Sacramento because Seattle at home just always have a hard time hitting that baseball. They really do. We'll see. I'll tell you what I think about these games here. Yeah, I'm agreeing with the Padres. I'm surprised Padres run line, the 1.5 is just $1.28 there. I'll look at the obvious game here, right? The rest advantage for the Padres. Rockies played a doubleheader Thursday. Padres hit 288 against the division, and then their night games, Rockies just hitting 206 against these light hitting teams. Padres 9-0 to the run line against an NL team with an on-base percentage of 315 or lower, returning 11 units. So they pound these teams. Rockies now 3-16 to the run line at home against winning teams, losing 14.5 units. Padres run line for me. Also, we'll look at over. I mentioned the weather over in LA and Arizona. It's gonna be 100 degrees. The roof is open. The Dodgers have rest now, so when you have rest, you're gonna get the runs today and tomorrow and Sunday. They did not have the rest. Also, make note here, the Dodgers bullpen situation got worse. I've been talking about their top arms being out, and of course that would be Gratterall, that would be Treinen, that would be Kopech. Well, you can add Phillips to that list. Their 4 best bullpen arms out. So we got the B and C guys in there, and then I think the word is Kershaw should start. He's going to be starting at the end of the month. So the Dodgers, some issues there. Rosaki is a guy who walks too many guys. I like the over there in that one between LA and the Arizona Diamondbacks in that hot weather in LA with the rest coming in here. Yankees Athletics, look, over the total. It's going to be hot. What does the Yankees do? They hit home runs. They've hit 48 home runs in their 30 games against right-handed starters. Athletics in their past 6 have hit 282. The Beatles Shuffle has been pounded at home. Warren has been pounded on the road. We could have the over come in before the bullpens come into this game. We might have that happen there. So I like the over in that game. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we switch on over to the NHL playoffs for tonight. So let's get those games here up on the board. Maple Leafs and Panthers. In this one, we've got the Panthers 2-11. It's just a must-win here. Total sits at 6. Next up, we've got Stars and Jets. The Jets $1.40, total 5.5. The block gets underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, I like Carolina, but I'm not laying there with them. So maybe a parlay piece. Haven't locked it in, nothing yet. But yeah, I do feel like they can get this win at home. It's where they play their best at. Like I said, more physical team. Iffy with the offense some games, but defensively the stronger unit. So I'm gonna ride with the Canes.
There we go with Wayne. And next up, we move right on over to Rod.
The Canes. Are you jumping ahead to tomorrow? Wayne gave us one for tomorrow. The Canes play tomorrow on Saturdays,
Yeah, tomorrow,
actually.
Saturday.
He's not playing Maple Leafs
That's
today.
tomorrow.
My bad. I'm early.
Maple Leafs in Florida, unless you were thinking Florida was getting the win here today.
Yeah. Florida. I'm sorry. Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers? I don't like the Florida Panthers. I'm a Leafs guy, so sorry, I have to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs here in this one. Look what the Leafs have done all year as a dog. Money machines as a dog this season. 17-9 as an underdog, making bettors over 12 units this season. Somebody's always got to go though, because both these teams on Friday nights play some pretty good hockey. The Leafs on the road 3-0 on a Friday night. Panthers at home 3-0 on a Friday night. That first round, the Panthers lost game 3. You don't want to go down to 3 of the Leafs, do you? I just don't want to lay this kind of price with the Florida Panthers squad that I haven't liked what I've seen. I like what I've seen from Toronto, almost getting 2 times your money. Give me the Leafs at that big plus price.
There we go with Rod. All right, next up, we move right on over to Kevin. We're on mute there, Kevin.
Got to unmute there, Kevin. Third time. Should be fired. 3 strikes, you're out.
Well, Brian, you don't have this problem. My fingers are too big, so sometimes I push it and
God.
it goes back on and off. You got those little dinky fingers, you know. Florida Panthers cannot allow more than 3 goals in this game or they will lose. Give me the under 6. They uncharacteristically have been giving up way too many goals.
Here we go from Kevin. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, and this group in the games here, I'll take the under in the Winnipeg Jets and Dallas Stars. They had me sweating out. I had the under in their last matchup, and after the second period, I thought I was pretty much toast. Sweated through that third period and barely got that under. But I think we're going to see another battle here tonight. I think it stays under that 5.5.
There we go from Brian. All right, we got you through our NHL. Now it's time for our Parlay Peripheral segment where Cappers can give out a parlay, then give a team or player prop, game of the future, like Wayne gave, or they can just play straight. We'll leave it up to the Cappers. Let's get this segment underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, we're gonna go with a Choppy Friday parlay. We are gonna add those Florida Panthers while the Maple Leafs do look enticing as that underdog. They're still the Maple Leafs. It's one of the things they gotta show me that they're not the Maple Leafs. They fold in this spot. So I'm gonna pick the Panthers money line. I still like Houston money line. I hear you guys with the Reds, and you guys all make valid points. And I'm not gonna never tell nobody not to chase plus money, but I like Houston in this spot. So Houston Maple Leafs, and we'll go with the Cavs first quarter.
From Wayne, next up over to Rod.
I like the Cavs in the first quarter. Double the bet on that one. Cavs pounded here. I think they win by 10 plus overall in that game as well. So let's put that in the parlay. Kick it off. Cavs lay the points here with them. Even if it's 5.5 there in that one. Cavs say, hey, we're not going to go quietly into this one. You're not going up 0-3, and we're not just going to roll over and die. I like the Cavs here by 10 plus in that one tonight. And then we're going to throw in those Reds. Then we're going to throw in those Cubs. And then we're going to throw in these Maple Leafs. Nice little 4-teamer for you tonight.
We're there from Rod. All right, next up we move right on over to Kevin.
Yeah, we'll do the over in the Dodgers game, over 10. We'll do the over 11 in the Yankees game. And then we'll do for Brian, we'll take Bo Nix for a touchdown.
There we go. From Kevin. Next up over to Javon.
I'll give out 3 of these parlays. Cleveland Guardians, Minnesota Twins, Toronto Blue Jays. That's a 3-teamer. St. Louis Cardinals, Washington Nationals over. Match it up with the Yankees and Athletics, the homeless over. And then another 3-teamer. San Diego Padres, Cindo Clip. Boston Red Sox, Texas Rangers, plus 1.5.
Yeah, from Javon. All right, next up over to Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins money line, Tampa Bay Rays money line, Denver Nuggets plus the points. And I'm going to add the minus 220 Florida Panthers. I might walk to Rod's house up there in Canada if Florida loses tonight. I just don't see how it's going to happen. I'm not going to take minus 220, but I have faith in the Panthers, and I know the Toronto Leafs history. Panthers win it tonight, but I'm only willing to add them into a parlay. I'm not going to bet that minus 200.
There you go from
Facts,
Brian.
Brian. Facts.
There, tell you what I like here. I like the Nuggets with the Padres run line and the over, and the Yankees and the home of athletics in the shelter.
Take him in regulation if you like the Panthers, then, because then you don't want to lay minus 200, right? You'll knock out some juice.
I'm just throwing that into a parlay. I would be shocked if it went to overtime, but Toronto's not. Toronto's going to end up losing the next 4 games. We know that the Maple Leafs do every year. They choke at the end. We'll see. They got the first 2 wins, but Florida is one of my favorite teams. I can't be hating on the Panthers tonight. I think they get it done.
He says, get it done. All right. We got you through the Parlay Purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Pick Dog Prim. Heading to a big weekend of action here. Second round NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball playoffs. Hey, we're a week away. Tomorrow, a week from tomorrow is the start of the WNBA. So getting ready for that roll.
Kevin Thomas is excited.
There you go.
Mr. WNBA. Yeah.
It's a WNBA. There we guys. Hey, we cover W, and you guys want it there because we see it in the comments. You guys like the W. So let's take a look, see what's going on over at Pick Dogs Premium. See what Wayne's got covered right now. Wayne's had a great baseball year. What do you got over at Pick Dogs Premium for sale?
Yeah, I have 4 plays in the MLB. I have a 3-pack. I believe, 640 games started, so that 3-pack may be scratched, but I still got my play of the day over there on the site, and I have a play of the day in the NBA. So 2 plays left over there for sale. Long term is always a way to go because you get the lines immediately as soon as we drop them, and most handicappers will have an extra play for you. So grabbing long term is definitely beneficial. If not, play of the day is over there. Use a promo code PIG, always save you some money, or you can pair me up with one of these fine guys that you see on the show, or whoever's killing it on the site will continue to put some money in your pocket. Let's get it.
Get it board with Wayne over at Pick Dogs. Remember the promo code PIG at checkout saves that 15% off. Let's see what Brian's got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Brian's put together really good the past 12 months.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the month of May hasn't been kind to me, but my titanium best bet winner, 20-10, 67% last 30. And I got 2 titaniums tonight. My best one's my Major League Baseball no limit play. Get that on over at pickdogs.com for $25. Also have a best bet in the NBA titanium. Or you can get my square dancing 3-pack, 1 NHL, 1 NBA, and my Major League Baseball best bet all in one package at pickdogs.com.
I'm board there with Brian over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll see what Kevin Thomas has got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Kevin's been red hot over the last 30 days.
Tony, I still got 2 MLBs. One is a money grab, which is always a plus money payout, and I have my NBA going tonight as well. The best thing to do is the 30-day right now because you're going to get that WNBA. 2 years ago, 62% for the season, and that's not putting up 2 or 3 bets. That's like 200 bets. And then last year, 56% winners for the season. And partner me up with any of these great handicappers on this show. They're all doing phenomenal work, so let us get you paid.
Pay there with Kevin over at Pick Dogs Premium. Multi-cap promotion available as well. Let's see what Javon's got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium. Javon, what's for sale?
Yeah, so it's been a free fall NBA postseason. Nothing like I've ever experienced, but things have stabilized, and they'll only go up from here. So the postseason's not over, and we got something on the board today, and we got 2 Major League Baseball. Baseball has been good to me, save for one day where I got slaughtered, but other than that, baseball's been good. So jump on something long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly, or matching with one of the handicappers for the multi-cap promotional. Pick several of us.
There you go. Get on the word there with Rod over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's see what Rod's got going over at Pick Dogs Premium. Rod over the last 30 days, over 4,400 units of profit, all documented.
Yeah, rolling along. Thanks to the NHL, been treating me kind. Been roaring right up, chasing Brian down for that lead in the NHL race. So head on over on a nice 17-3 run. I got my NHL one-timer play. Crushed it with the Oilers. Looking to stay hot with it. You can get it singly. MLB off to that rough start of the year, but hey, turn that around. Profiting on the year there. You can scoop up my MLB play of the day as well. I also got that play of the day thrown into a MLB triple. And then it's Friday, so I got a Steak Friday where you get all 3 of those MLB plays to get my NHL play thrown in there as well. Plus, I got my NBA play of the day thrown there as well. So jump aboard. But the better way to go is grab that 3-day pass and join me for the weekend, or even grab that week, grab that month, as Kevin alluded to. And WNBA right around the corner. Got to defend my title as the leader here in the WNBA last season. So definitely looking to defend that as well. And that starts next Saturday. So definitely jump aboard long term, and let's continue to crush the votes here at Big Dogs, the sports app place. Take advantage of that capper promotional as well. 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1. Pair us all up. You see, have a big giant winning weekend together. Don't forget, pick and check out as well.
Hello to Rod over at Pick Dogs Premium. I'll let you know what I have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium. Got a best bet for Major League Baseball. Also, 3-pack mixing 2 baseball and 1 NBA. I am the unit leader in MLB this year over at Pick Dogs Premium. So get on board with me and get that 1-day pass, or better yet, get that weekend pass, the 3-day pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Select when you go to my handicap page, make that purchase. Promo code PICK at checkout will save that 15% off. And of course, you can match me up to your favorite capper with the multi-capper promotion and get signed up. All right, guys, we're with you here Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Approaching 250,000 subscribers here, getting close. So hit that subscribe button and get there. Hey, listen, we get 250,000 people to hit the subscribe button. You know there's some great content on this channel. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button there. A lot of great content here, not just the live shows, but we've got also on-demand video from a lot of the cappers here. Of course, we'll start with Kevin. Kevin, your contributions over on demand on the YouTube for Pick Dogs.
I hope I'm not muted. Am I muted?
You're not.
All right.
Jesus
I lost
Christ, this guy with
I
the
lost
mute button.
I lost the little microphone. I don't know what happened. My big hands. I don't know.
Good Lord.
But yeah, I do a video every night. Pick and prop. We were talking with the higher ups, maybe going to a 3-prop format, doing something more like Javon. A little bit quicker video, getting three quick ones out there. I know Kerry would be so excited if we can get this up to 250,000 subscribers. That's a huge milestone. So everybody that subscribes, I appreciate it. She appreciates it. Everyone at Pick Dogs, and thank you very much.
Very good. Of course, Brian, your contributions as well on the Pick Dog YouTube channel video series.
Yep, my sharp betting, contrarian prediction every day at the YouTube channel. I'm gonna on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. I'll be there both days this weekend. We got crappy weather outside, so what better time than to hang out on the weekend? And hopefully, I'll be discussing my sweep from Friday night tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, good indeed. Of course, Rod, pretty much a regular here on the drive-through.
Yeah, definitely a regular here on the drive-through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Very good. Of course, Wayne, you keep an eye on the boxing world for us.
Yeah, just a big women's matchup coming up, a rematch between Serrano and Katie Taylor. There you go. Larger fight for the women's boxing fans. I know it's not a lot, but it's going to be a banger of a fight when they connect.
Yeah, and of course, the word coming out today, I believe, Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement.
I didn't see that one
Yeah,
yet.
it's
Good news for
fighting?
Brian. That's good news for Brian.
Must need the money.
Must be the money.
Who is he fighting? A YouTuber?
Yep. Well, maybe we talked about the UFC coming into it, right? And wrestling, right? Maybe that he likes that connection. We don't know. We'll see. Maybe there's something brewing there. Of course, Javon, you got Javon. We can catch you on the drive-through weekend shows, and of course, you got your video series with the parlays.
Yeah, and I got another 2 team up on the board. Should be a casher, like these 2 particular plays. So check that out before, for the next half hour when the games drop. And per usual, Saturday, Sunday, and on the morning show, and then back here on the drive-through Monday night.
Very good, guys. That's going to do it here for the drive-through. Guys, make it a great weekend. We'll be back here Monday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Any final words from anyone before we close it out?
He's supposed to take
Just,
on
put Ken
Mario
Thomas on mute.
Barrios.
There we go. There we go.
Mario
Let's
Barrios,
see the board and
WBC champion.
Okay, trying to come back and win a belt right off the bat.
That's what he's trying to do. Yep, challenge WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. So we'll see. No, I didn't expect it. Wow, we'll see.
We'll see how it rolls there. All right.
That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight.
That is.
4 years older.
Man, he always takes a tough fight though. He doesn't veer away from a
You're right.
challenge.
You're right.
So
All right, we can now confirm that Garland, Hunter, and Mobley are active for tonight. Garland,
Nice.
Hunter, Mobley active for Cleveland tonight in that game. Let's see what the line looks like here. If there's been any late movement with this late news coming in. Everybody knew it was going to happen, so it's 5 still. 5.
It's still 5.
Still 5. Everybody knew that was happening.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it here for the show, guys. Goodbye, guys. You guys make it a winning night. We're back here Monday on the